Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sci 120 Human Development. My name is Stephen Kushner, and I will be your instructor for this semester. I've been teaching psychology for 16 years, and this is one of my favorite courses to teach because it really covers the entire spectrum of life, even before you're born, at prenatal development, all the way until the end of life. So really excited to get started with you guys. But the purpose of this video is not to really dive into the course per se, but really to get you familiar with D2L and the web page. So if you're new to this, you can navigate the web page and you know exactly where everything is. So that's what we're going to do today. I hope you follow along, and if you had any questions, hopefully I answer them as we discuss. So let's take a look together. So here is our page Psych 120. Of course, we have our overview and a couple of things to pay attention to, right? On the top tabs, we have content, discussions, assignments, quizzes, exams, grades, checklists, class lists, groups, etc., etc. And for me, the most important links would be content, which has the modules, our discussions. A lot of these are assignments, and you'll take a look at the syllabus, which ones we need to do, assignments, quizzes, as well as we'll have two exams this semester, one midterm, one final, and of course, probably what's really important to you is your grades, and you'll see what is in there as well. So a couple things to take a look at. If I scroll down, you'll take a look on the left. You'll also see a lot of different tabs. We have syllabus and the course calendar. If you see something hidden, that means you can't see it, but I can see it. So I've different resources as well. And then you'll scroll down, and here's kind of really where the meat of everything is, right? Week 1 and week 2 and week 3. And I'll show you kind of what it looks like when you click on each one of those. But first, I would say when you do log into D2L, I would click on course syllabus. I'll probably send this to you if I haven't already as a PDF, as an email, but if you haven't, you'll see it right here. And once you click on it, which I will here, you'll see everything that you'll need to know, right? When my office hours are, how to email me, course description and learning objectives, and everything in between. So I'd recommend to read the syllabus before the class starts, get familiar with the objectives, right? What textbook we'll need, right? This is an e-textbook you don't need to pay for. You get that through McGraw-Hill. And of course, you're probably thinking about what assignments do I need to know. You could take a look at that as well. So that's probably a really helpful page to take a look at. Other things to think about. There we go. Let's go to our course calendar. This course calendar, I think, is probably the most important document in terms of something that I recommend to print out. This is also something I probably emailed you, and the reason I think is really important to print out is because I put little check boxes here so that every time you complete something, you could do a little pen or pencil, check it off so you know that you did that. So, for example, week 1 is Introduction and Conception to Birth. So this whole chapter is about what is human development, what do we mean by development, what different contemporary issues in the world today deal with human development, how do we conduct research, different theories of learning, and then of course the newborn. And a couple things that you'll need to do for week 1 is, of course, to review the syllabus, as I said. For discussion number 1 is to record a video of yourself, introducing yourself. There are a couple questions you need to think about. There are 3 chapters. Remember, this is a really quick course. It's only 7 weeks. So things are going to pile up, but I promise you, if you stay organized and, print this out, have it with you, you'll stay right on top of things. So chapters 1 through 3, and then 2 different learning check quizzes. Each quiz, and I'll use quiz in quotations because it's really just 10 questions to assess your knowledge of that chapter. Quiz number 1 is on chapter 1, and quiz number 2 is on chapters 2 and 3. So each one is worth 10 points. And then lastly, there is a semester-long project. Please review those guidelines. So this is what the course calendar looks like, and you'll see the same thing for each week, right? Agenda and assignment checklist, and you can go down the list all the way, take a look at things like when the midterm is, and so forth. So definitely take a look at this. I recommend to print this out so you can have it with you. All right, let's take a look at other important documents. All right, so now that we have the syllabus and calendar, I'd highly, highly recommend to click on McGraw-Hill Connect. Why is that? Because this is where we get all of our resources, right? The textbook, the quizzes, the assignments, right? A lot of them Arthur McGraw-Hill. So once you log in, sign in, click on McGraw-Hill, and you'll have direct access to our stuff. Okay, so this is what mine looks like, but when you click on it, you'll actually see the textbook. Okay, so that's really, really important. If you need help logging into McGraw-Hill, please ask. Send me an email, and I'll give you those steps along the way. All right, so there's McGraw-Hill Connect. Other things to think about. We have online support. So if you're new to online courses, please click on that. There's a lot of really good resources right there. Learner support, right? If you're struggling or if you have specific, IEPs, this will help you there too. All right, let's get into the first module. All right, so what we'll do every single week is I recommend to click on the week module right when it begins and see what you need to do. So here's week 1 module, and here's how it's set up. You'll see up here when that module begins and when the due date is, the topic that we're covering, which is basically the entire introduction of what human development is. The chapters we'll be covering: intro, biological beginnings, which is kind of everything from DNA to chromosomes and genes, to prenatal development, right? How do we develop in the womb? And of course, when we are born. And then we also have our checklist, right? We got to do the syllabus, we got to read our chapter, we got to do our introduction video, upload a photo, a D2L. Please review the cross-sectional research project, and then 2 learning check quizzes. So once again, same thing as a calendar, what we're covering and what you need to do. Now, once you have your textbook, what's also included, which is great with McGraw-Hill, is you have PowerPoints. You do not have to click on the PowerPoints. It's completely optional, but they're really good for notes, and they'll help guide you and help you answer the learning check quizzes. Okay, the questions on those quizzes. So definitely take a look at those PowerPoints. We have our discussion number 1, and this is an app that you can download on your phone to introduce yourself, your name, your goals, why you're taking this course. And because this is human development, reflecting on your life so far, right? What are the best moments and the hardest moments in different time periods of your life? That's going to be an underlying theme of this course, right? How have you become who you are and who you will become in the future, right? So it's a ton of reflection is my overall goal of this course. And of course, then you'll see the quizzes, right? And if you're wondering how I would do this, well, every assignment is due that Sunday night. Okay, so you have a week long to do the assignments. You'll click on quiz number 1, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, it'll look like this. You'll click on launch, which I'll do right now. And what you'll see on your end, which is not mine, is you'll see the 10 questions. Okay, so every quiz is 10 questions worth 10 points. Now, I don't have it on mine because I'm the instructor. What you'll see is question number 1. And if you don't know the answer, there's a lot of helpful links to help you find the answer within the textbook. So tons of support. Do the best you can. There's a lot of them. I think you'll do just fine. Okay, so you'll see the same thing when you click on it. All right, let's go back. So there is week 1. Let's see what else is under week 1, just to make sure I didn't forget anything. We also have, there we go, we also have chapter 2 quiz. And then, of course, our main project, which is trying to understand how we develop, right, from, childhood all the way to late adulthood, how our thoughts about happiness change and worrying change and how our fears change. So in this project, we're going to be interviewing people from all different age groups about their life. This is such a great project, something I hope you have fun with. And there's a lot of different ways to turn it in, whether it's a documentary like this, or it could be a paper format. Okay. And I also included a little video on prenatal development. Not, mandatory, but optional. I think something that you'll look forward to. And just taking a look at one more week. We don't need to click on every one, but it's just giving you a sense of what it's like. So here's module 2, right? Week 2, infancy. So once again, chapters covered, things that you need to do. We have a learn and check quiz, and we have our first discussion question. And for a lot of this, I give you many options, right? Here's 4 different questions, and you get to pick one to answer. Posts should be anywhere from 150 to 300 word in that word count range, and not just post, but also respond to your classmates, right? Let's engage in discussion, right? That's kind of the nuts and bolts of what we need to do, not just, be independent and solo, but work and collaborate. We also have a couple of video clips on babies, their first words, how they form relationships with people, how they move their body. So we'll be taking a look at a few of those as well. So I don't need to click on all the modules, but that's pretty much how they're set up. What you need to do, agenda, and of course, look out for those discussion questions. Now remember, we do have a midterm. Click on the midterm. There are 75 questions. It covers chapters 1 through 8. You'll have about an hour and a half to complete that. And the same thing, I'll click on it right now, the same thing with the quizzes. You click on launch and it'll take you right to the midterm exam. Okay, so it's the same exact thing. And the only other thing to really pay attention to, if I scroll all the way down, of course, is our final, right? Same thing. You click on that, you'll see the final, click launch, and that'll take you to it. So this is that'll be the last week of the course. Of course, you can click on grades, right? I'll do that right now. And you can see, right, all my students, you'll probably see your name somewhere, right? You'll see all the assignments you need to do, right? Quiz 2, quiz 1, quiz 3, quiz 4, and they'll automatically upload it to the grade after you complete it. Okay, so a lot of it is just kind of automatically right there. You're more than welcome to click on quizzes and exams, even though we went over that. If you click under assignments, you'll kind of see our 3 big assignments, our cross-sectional interview, and our greeting card, and our 2 main assignments, greeting card analysis and our cross-sectional interview. The greeting card analysis is not till later in the course, which is really reflecting on how our society stereotypes people as they get older. Looking for greeting cards of people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, what is the common theme? So that's a really fun assignment to really reflect on how our society, at least from the Western world, views aging, right? We have to think about this from a cultural standpoint. So there's a nice insight into D2L. It's very intuitive. It's not too tricky, but if you have questions, please reach out. I'm always here for you, and we should be good to go. So with that said, I look forward to class. It's going to be a really fun semester, and I'll be looking out for any questions or concerns. So with that said, enjoy your day or enjoy your evening. Take care.